Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable week. I hope that your start to your year has been as blessed and illuminated as mine. I didn't say easy. I didn't say life has laid down for you. I said that it was blessed and illuminated, meaning that you can see progress and that you can see clearly the direction in which you are headed. So here we are. It's Friday. It's Focus Friday. Let me get this out of the way because it's time sensitive. We have extended the registration for today's live webinar event, 7-day online business launch, until an hour before the event starts, which is roughly uh, 2.5 hours from now. We are excited about this. Well, actually, 3.5 hours because it doesn't start to noon CST. So, look, if you haven't registered, get registered. Look, it's real simple. If you don't have a minimum of two independent streams of income that hedge your primary source of income and protect you from the loss of that income, you need to be in this course. Why? Because it's going to teach you how to go online and create business opportunities for yourself. Not one, not two, but as many as you like. Automate those systems so that you can consistently do it, whatever else you're doing, but still create opportunities. And opportunities, once you learn this program, are going to all of a sudden pop up everywhere because you're going to realize and start seeing things from a place of opportunity instead of social media and the internet just being a place to hang out and research where you're going to buy stuff. If you're researching where you're going to buy stuff, guess what? Somebody's selling it to you. They're making money off of what you're doing online. It's time that you start doing the same thing. And the beautiful thing is, if it's an idea and somebody can buy into it, you can make money from it and you can do it online. I'm going to teach you how to do this in 10 steps. And I'm going to provide you with a bunch of material, especially something that I think a lot of people who try to get into business fail at. And that is knowing how to write out a business plan. There's a 50-page guide we created for you so that you can literally go through it. It serves like a template. You just write it out. And then there's a business plan template that we're going to give you. We're going to talk about marketing research. We're going to talk about organic traffic. In other words, the way you're going to make money online is how much traffic can you attract to your offer, whatever that is, whether you're blogging and monetizing your blog, whether you're promoting somebody else's product, whether you're offering a consulting service, whether you are vlogging, video, blogs, whatever it is, there's a way to monetize it. There's a way to get paid. And you're going to find why so many people are doing certain things. You look them on the page like you, and you're probably going, they act like they get paid to show, and they may just get paid. And we're going to talk about all those different things. So if you haven't signed up, oh, on top of that, this program, I designed it. It is the same program that I used starting 12 years ago online when I decided I was going to recreate myself online, that I was going to move everything I was doing as a live in-person brick and mortar, all the stuff I had going on. I was moving myself online to leverage the power of the internet. I now have clients in Australia, just picked up a client in Sweden, have clients in the UK, have clients in South Africa, in Kenya. I have clients in a number of different islands in the Caribbean. Obviously, I have clients on the continental US, and I am still reaching, and it's in multiple different areas. And it all started with me saying I'm gonna get online and not knowing what the hell I was gonna do because a lot of this stuff was new. Internet was going full speed, maybe 10 years at the time, 10, 11 years. It'd been around for a while, but people really just start flocking to it early 2000. So here I am trying to figure it out, and I did. And what I did is I found a way to get in low cost to no cost, set up an online presence and sell people something that I thought was valuable to them. And over time, I taught myself, I learned everything I needed to learn: SEO, um, um, drop shipping, so many different things, affiliate marketing, so many different things, platforms. Crazy thing, true thing. I wish I could pull up the screen. Um, I one of the first ways I started to make money while I learned how to do all the other stuff was writing for other companies, writing for people. A lot of the stuff that you see on blogs aren't written by the people on the blogs. They're written by guys like me called ghostwriters. Um, Freelance writers. We write it for them, put it on there, and give them the license. Literally, we license them to use our content under their pseudonym or their name. And I did this, and one of the places I did this was a place called Constant Content. And I would write, and they had a real high writing mark, but I write for a living. So I wrote on it. And what they would allow you to do is there were two ways to make money. People will come on and tell you what they need, and you can say, okay, I'll do it. And you wrote it and you submitted it and they accepted it and you got paid that way. The other way was you could write about stuff that you were passionate about, that you were knowledgeable about, and literally put it in your writer inventory. You could have articles in inventory. And I'm sitting up today and looked up and an article sold. Now, here's the thing. This article took me all of what, 25 minutes to write. It was 1,000-word article. Now, depending on how much you can research and how much you know about a particular topic, how long it takes you to write it. But that's how long I can write 1,000 words really in 15 minutes if I really put my mind to it. I type over 100 words per minute, so I can do it. But that particular article took me probably about somewhere around 20, 25 minutes to write. I charged 150 for it. Constant Content gets a piece of that, but I just got $90 from something I wrote years ago. And because it's sitting in the inventory and it just pops up. It's time consuming, so I don't go to it a lot now but every now and then I think of an article I want to write, and I write it and I go put it in the inventory. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what happens is people get used to coming, and if they like your writing, they'll start buying from it. And that's just something that I jumped into 2010 to 2011, and that's the way I got my footing while I learned everything and created my own enterprises. I'm going to tell you about all this stuff at 12 noon. If you haven't signed up, you want to, because not only will the course pay for itself, I'm giving you 2 follow-up sessions. Each of those sessions are worth $450. Now, here's the beauty about this. We're not just going to talk about starting your business. It's not just going to be a follow-up on the course. We're going to talk about your goals for 2023. We're going to talk about what has worked for you to this point and what isn't working and why it isn't working and what you can do to change it. We're going to talk about the difference between resistance and challenge, and simply moving in a direction or using a strategy that doesn't work. Because I can tell you, this thing about being a business owner, this thing about success in life, regardless to what area it's in, isn't about ease. It isn't about just things coming. You're going to have those moments where you just think, man, I'm in my zone. And those are beautiful moments when everything just seems to fall in line and everything's going smoothly. And depending on how much momentum you build and how well you're moving in it, it can last for a while. But the truth of the matter is, most of your advancement, most of your progress is going to be because you won't quit. Step by step, get knocked back a few steps, get up, dust yourself off, step by step by step by step, knock back, step by step, knocked over, step by step. It's about how many times you get up and keep going. It's about finishing, which is what we're going to talk about on Focus Friday today. But if you want to get in, this is a time to get in. It's definitely worth it. It definitely will pay for itself. Look, I don't normally make guarantees on money, because how people make money after they work with me is dependent upon how much energy, effort, and time they put into it. Let me tell you something. I'm charging $397 for this course. I'm giving you 2 $450 sessions with me, where I guarantee you, when you get off with me, you're going to have a different perspective on life. You're going to have a different view. You're going to be ready to step out and go make some things happen. And you're going to have the means in which to do it. That alone is worth what you're getting. But you're going to get an entire process that you can plug in multiple times to create avenues to generate revenue. And you can shift this thing as market shift, as trend shifts. You're going to have to be able to do that in this new era. You're going to have to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn at a rapid pace to be successful in this age where technology is rapidly advancing and just we're evolving. But I'm going to show you how to get into that. And you can do this over and over again. But that's going to be up to you. I'm challenging you. Look, you got for a couple of hours. And this is the last time I'm teaching it live, because I designed this course to be a self-paced course. I didn't design it for me to teach. I designed it for people to buy and go do it. but I want to interact with you. I want to hear your questions. I want to give you insight outside of the A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, keep connecting the dots that you're going to get by looking at a curriculum and saying, this is what I do with this. What I want to touch the human side of this thing and make it real to you and give you some insight while we're on the way. So again, if you want to join that, click the link and do it. Let's talk about Focus Friday. Focus is this ability to center on something and not allow yourself to be distracted or moved one way or another. It was bothering me. One way or another. It's about allowing yourself to get into a zone and focus on the things that matter. And things that matter will change throughout the day. There's a time you need to be focused on your health. So you're in the gym, you're working out, you're doing what you need to do to get yourself together. Then there are times that the focus is in your business, in your career, in your job, whatever it is, so that you're doing the optimal performance that produces the best possible outcomes. Then there are times that the focus is the family, and then you're centering on that, and then you prioritize it all, and you give the amount of time and attention necessary to each one. But when you're in that zone, you're focused, and one of the things that focusing allows you to do is finish. One of the things that I see when people are looking at me and coming to me and they're saying, hey, I wanted to do this, but this didn't happen. I wanted to do this, but this didn't happen. And I'm saying, okay, did you try this? Yes. What happened? Well, this happened, that happened, and I just figured it wasn't gonna work. So I went and did this, and then this happened and that happened. So I said, man, if it ain't happened by now. And what you look up is you got this series of attempts at something, but you didn't stay with it. You didn't go through it. You didn't push into it. And what you do is you got a long list of things that you tried but didn't finish. You have to finish what you start. There is no rule in my life when it comes to achievement in the sense of how I apply myself that isn't more prevalent than finish. If I make up in my mind that I'm going to have something, that I'm going to achieve something, that I'm going to do something, it's real simple for me. I'm either going to do it or I'm going to die trying. There are no other options. We don't quit. We may change the strategy. We may change the approach, but we're not quitting. If I say I'm going to have it, I'm going to have it. I'm going to die trying. And really doesn't matter which one. I don't want to die anytime soon. But what I'm telling you is if it takes me 10 years, it takes me 10 years. But here's what I've learned about life, about God, about the universe, however you want to put it. I'm not here to tell you about how to put it. What I can tell you is that anytime that I've been forced into a place where I've had to wait or I've had to execute patience and perseverance in order to have something, it took longer than I expected. The reward of my perseverance was always greater than my initial expectations. Let me tell you that again. There are some things you're going to set your goals. You're going to set the dates for your goals, and you're going to go out there and you're going to knock it down. I actually have this philosophy that's a little crazy, drives people nuts. But if I hit my goal on time, I'm actually mad. You know why? If I hit it on time, that means I got the goal, but I may have left something on the table. What I mean by that, if I set a goal that is in all means probably unreachable, not in the sense that I'm never going to get there, but in the sense I'm not going to get there at the time I set for it. But I set it at a time where it looks like if I really go hard in the paint every day, I might get there. And I wake up every day and I go hard in the paint. Every day I leave everything I have on the field. And I go to bed. I wake up the next morning rejuvenated, and I go back out there and I leave everything I have on the field, and I'm going for this goal. And then I get there and I'm at that date and I'm not quite there. What I do know is I didn't leave anything out there. I didn't leave money on the table. I didn't leave potential on the table. I got everything out of myself I can get. So I'm satisfied. Even though I didn't hit the goal, I guarantee you I'm further along in my journey than I was when I started. I've gotten everything I can possibly get out of my effort. And so I'm okay with not hitting the goal because I got everything out of me. I don't have anything to whine and complain about. And so I go out and then I set a new goal. Now, while pursuing the new goal, I passed the old. I got it. I just didn't get it in the time that I said. I'm good with that because every day I'm giving myself. That's why I say at the end of my videos, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. Why? But when you live on full, you live with no regrets. When you give life everything you have for the day, you live with no regrets. You got to understand there are 86,400 seconds in a day. How you spend those are going to be the determining factor of the outcome of your life. Not how many obstacles you hit, not how many haters you have, not where you started and all the things you had to go through. It's going to be, did you go out and finish? Did you give every second meaning? It doesn't mean that you're working 24/7. What it means is that you don't sit up and waste seconds. Sometimes those seconds are meant to be with family. Sometimes those seconds are meant to be in meditation and prayer. Sometimes those seconds are meant, but they should have meaning. There should be no casual approach to the time that you never will recover once it's gone. It's valuable. To me, a lot of people say time is your most valuable asset. I don't believe that, but I think it's your second most valuable. To me, your most valuable asset in this life, regardless of what's going on around you. So I'm not discarding people in your life and all. I'm just saying, as an individual functioning in this world, if you are operating on your own and you had to look at your personal assets, your number one asset is your mind. Why? Because if you can unleash your mind, your limits are gone. You can achieve anything. This isn't magic. You're not going to just sit up and wish it to happen and it's going to come, but you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Then your time. So if your time is your second most precious asset in this life, in the way of achievement, in the way of fulfillment, then you need to be protecting it. You need to value it. You need to spend time making sure that you're not wasting it. So you got these 86,400 seconds in each day. What are you doing with it? Well, you're going to spend about 7 to 8 hours of it sleeping. Some people will tell you that's way too much time. You don't need that time. Take care of yourself, because I can tell you that the 6 hour, 5 hour thing will take its toll on you. I can tell you that personally. I've grinded. I've been to bed at 12, up at 4 a bunch of times. And in some of those times it may have been needed, and then it became a habit, and then it began to take its toll. Rest. What you'll find out is when you rest and you operate in comfort and you optimize the time that you do have, that and get up early. One of the most prevalent patterns we find in the lives of successful people is they wake up early. Yeah, there are those who don't, but almost everybody I've studied gets up definitely before 8. Most of them are up before 7. A lot of them are up as early as 4. Some get up at 3. And here's the thing, it's not getting up and staying up all day and working, because eventually you're going to go into decision fatigue, you're going to go into mental emotional fatigue, and then the product that you're putting out isn't the same in quality. So what I tell people, get up early, get your work done. By 12, most of the things you have to get done are done. Now you're looking at the things you can kind of knock out that don't take a great deal of intellectual engagement, a great deal of emotional engagement, a great deal of really having to be on your A game to make. You want to get your major stuff done. And if you do it right, by the time the average person gets started, you've gotten way more done in your day than they're going to get done all day. That's how you get ahead in this world. That's how you advance yourself. But let me tell you something. It's about finishing. Your focus has to have you so centered on your purpose, so centered on your goals, so centered on your destiny, so centered on the task at hand that you are not easily pulled away by external issues, external circumstances, different things that are going to happen. Let me tell you, you're not going to skate through this life. You're not going to get through this life. You're not just going to skate through this life. You're not just going to get up and say, because I have a plan, everything's going to fall in line. That's why so many people quit, is because they think it's going to be easy. You're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into situations where there's going to be delay. And when I'm talking delay, I'm not talking days. I'm talking months, sometimes years, where it's just look like, man, what's taking so long? One of the prime examples I use when talking to people recently is Kevin Hart. Whether you think Kevin Hart is funny or not is irrelevant. He's killing the game on the business side of this thing. He's in every freaking thing. Him and The Rock have connected. They're producing and doing all kind of stuff in the movies outside of actually starring in movies and doing stuff. They are producing and all kind of stuff in behind the scenes. They got all the stuff. And Kevin Hart is selling out stadiums. This has never been done by a stand-up comedian, selling out stadiums. But what people don't realize, again, this isn't about whether you think this dude is funny or not. The dude is figured out to get a bunch of people to think he's funny because he's in every freaking thing, and he's a brand right now. But what people don't realize is for 19 years, Hollywood and the entertainment industry told him, no, you're not funny enough. You don't have the it factor. No, try again next year. He has had 2 different sitcoms he was on, got canceled. And he just kept being told no. He kept being told, you'll be, average at best. You can go around, do a little stand-up, but you're never going to be that guy. 19 years he was told that. How many people go stick with it 19 years? Now, remember when I told you that when you experience delay, that God designed the universe, that when you have to go through delay, if you persevere and you push through and you're consistent in it and you don't back down on it, that when you finally do realize it, the delay is worth it. In other words, you are going to get far more than you ever anticipated getting when you first set out. 19 years. Now look at it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how far are you willing to go? I'm gonna share this with you, then I got to get off because I have a client coming up in 7 minutes, so this got to be real quick. One of my favorite movies is it's not really that old. I think it was mid 2000s, called Lawless, and it's about a time in the 30s when Prohibition was up and everybody's running moonshine. And in the hills of Virginia and Kentucky, there's this family called the Bondurants, and it's 3 brothers. 2 of them are straight G's. The oldest brother, Howard, and then Forrest is the middle brother, who's the most gangster of them all. And then Shia LaBeouf plays the younger brother. And the 2 G's, they get into it with some dirty cops. Long story short, Shia LaBeouf is real smart. He comes up with this unbelievable potion for moonshine, and he's selling it hand over fist, making a whole bunch of money, and catches the eye of these dirty cops. They catch him, rough him up, kill his cousin, send him back bleeding. And his brothers, who are straight killers, ask him what he's going to do. And he looks at his brother Forrest, who, again, is probably the most violent, and says, I'm not like you and Howard. I don't have that violent streak in me. I don't have it in me to go back and fight these people. And Forrest gets up and he walks over and he leans over in his ear in their little place of business that serves as a place of business, which is really the cover for their moonshine business. But anyway, he leans over in his ear and he says, it's not the violence that sets a man apart. It's the distance he's willing to go, or the distance he's prepared to go. And I sit there and I heard him. It's not any of the things you think it is. It's not how smart you are. It's not how much you have in your resource reserve. It's not who you know. All these things you're going to be told is going to contribute to your success. Will contribute, but the biggest thing is: are you willing to go the distance? Are you willing to finish what you start? That's going to. Are you going to get in the game and quit? Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard in your business. It's going to be hard trying to get your finances in order. It's going to be hard trying to get your credit score straight. It's going to be hard trying to hold your marriage together. It's going to be hard trying to raise children. It's going to be hard in anything you do. You're going to want to quit. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to toss it to the side. The question is, are you willing to go the distance? Because that's where the payback comes. When you're willing to push through that dark moment of delay, that dark moment of disappointment, that dark moment of frustration, that's when you're going to start to see, wait a minute, on the other side of this wall, there's a blessing. On the other side of this wall, there's elevation. On the other side of this wall, there is power. On the other side of this wall is fulfillment. But I've got to be willing to what? Go the distance. Look, I got to get off here and get ready for this session. But look, If you are serious about leveraging and hedging your primary income and having a formula that you can use over and over again to create opportunities online to generate revenue, you don't want to miss the webinar that we're having today at noon. Registration ends an hour before, so 2 hours or so from now it'll be over. Just, well, 2 hours pretty much, because we're almost 9 now. So look, this is CST time. And the beautiful thing is I'm recording it. So even if you can't make it, you will still have the replay to watch. You will still have your 2 sessions with me. You'll still get all of the material that walks you through it. And I will stick with you until you get up. So look, this is a chance for you to get something done. On that note, look, I'm checking out here. Thank you guys for stopping in. On that note, you guys have an unbelievable day.